The Alpaca keyboard's ErgoDox 76, also known as the Hot Dox V2. Let's talk about it. So, ergonomic keyboards and split designs. I've been wanting to try more out, and Apple's was nice enough to send me over this for me to check out. The box says it features a 76 key split ergonomic layout. It has hot swap sockets. It uses VIA firmware. It's got acrylic and aluminum case and a 1-year warranty. It also comes with your switch and keycap puller, a USB-C to USB-A cable, and a USB-C to USB-C cable. It's also designed in San Francisco and made in China. That's pretty cool. The reason I wanted to check out more of these is because I've never really found a design that's for me. I do have minor wrist pain if I do a lot of typing during the week, and I was hoping that maybe this would be a solution or an answer. So we're going to unbox it, we're going to test it out, I'm going to go over the keyboard, and then after a typing test, I'm going to use it for a week and then I'll give you my thoughts. Jumping straight into the box here, we first start with a card. It looks like it's for the manual. So you just scan the QR code and it'll take you to the manual. First bag here, you see a USB-A to USB-C cable, and then your keycap and switch puller. So that's nice. We're going to need that. The next bag here looks like it's our USB-C to USB-C, as well as maybe feet for the bottom of the keyboard itself. That's definitely an interesting touch. And then we have a miniature bag. It looks like some tools and some spare parts, probably. Yeah, so we always love to have extras. Make sure that if there's any issues, we can handle those ourselves. And then finally, it looks like we're down to the keyboard itself. Now, once we have it out of the package, this is what it looks like. It's a brushed aluminum with acrylic backing, and honestly, it looks really cool. This is where pictures did it justice, which is not always the case. Sometimes you get a different variation of a color, or maybe it just looks a little off compared to what you've seen in a picture. But this is pretty much dead on. The acrylic is super clear, there's no visible scratches, there's no fogginess, and honestly, I kind of dig it. It matches my desk aesthetic, which is really, really cool. The brushed aluminum looks really neat in this situation. It's not always the case where some aluminum kind of looks out of place or kind of makes the keyboard look cheap. Here, it really accents how the keyboard looks and feels. The sandwich design is a really cool design, and overall, I'm really liking this aesthetic. Now, aesthetics aside, we need to dive into the keyboard and see what we're working with. We'll go ahead and grab our keycap puller, and we'll pull off a keycap, and we'll take a closer look. Here we see that it's a DSA profile keycap. It is PBT. It is black on white, which is one of my personal favorites. And honestly, they feel pretty good. They come in at 1.3 millimeters, which is a pretty decent thickness, especially for DSA profile. And honestly, I kind of dig them. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the switches. Since we're hot swap sockets, we can go ahead and pull those straight out. And we're met with a KL speed copper, which is surprising, but not surprising. They're known for their small pre-travel, with 1.1 millimeter pre-travel and 3.5 millimeters of total travel. They are a 40 gram tactile switch, and they actually feel pre-lubed, which is kind of neat. We're going to go ahead and take them apart to see. And from here, you can see that they are pre-lubed. Now, we do see a lot of lube on the front feet here. That's interesting because it might reduce the tactile feedback. If that's the case, if you don't have enough tactile feel, I would recommend cleaning these off, or maybe swapping switches. The side rails, you don't see a lot of lube because we haven't actuated these a lot, so I'm assuming you won't see it there. Next, we'll pull out a spring. You can see that it's a shortened spring that's notorious for the Speed Copper series. Lastly, our bottom housing, and taking a look at that, it is lubed. You can't see it on camera very well, again, because it is a clear lube, but I assure you, it's definitely lubed. So, moving on. Next, we'll take a look at our hot swap sockets. These have north-facing RGB. They're 3-pin, 5-pin compatible. It is interesting that it went north-facing instead of south-facing, but with the acrylic backing and the RGB, you shouldn't have any problem. Here you can clearly see that the switch is missing, and you can see the north-facing RGB. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at our stabilizers. We'll go ahead and go back to our keycap puller, pull off one of the modifiers, so we can take a closer look. Now, keep in mind, these are completely stock. Here you can see that they are screw-in stabilizers. If we flip it over to the back, we can see the screws as well, which is an easy indication. But surprisingly, they're not lubed. Now, it doesn't take a lot to lube them, and you should show them some love, but they are going to be a bit rattly just straight out of the box. I would like to see these lubed out of the box or a little bit more tuned, but it's not that hard to do yourself. So do yourself a favor and show them some love. Next, your USB-C connections. Before we plug this in, we have to go over how it's connected. You have two USB-Cs on each side, and honestly, I love this. One goes to the other hand, but one goes to the computer. But the one to the computer doesn't matter which side you plug it in, left or right. They both do the same thing. And that's really awesome. I love that. All right, now let's talk about setup, and I'm here to save you a headache. Make sure your PC is powered off before you plug in this keyboard. Don't do what I did and try to figure out why it's acting crazy. Second, make sure you scan your QR code and you go to the guide because it will have links to the JSON files and information you need for VIA. Now, when you're ready to set up VIA, you'll just go ahead start now and it should recognize the keyboard. If it doesn't recognize the keyboard, you can always go selected by authorizing a device, selecting the keyboard, and hit connect. This will bring up all your VIA control. This is where you can change all the software and operations of the keyboard itself. You have multiple layers to switch between to have any desired effect you want. You can literally program any key to manipulate anything you want to do. If you want the enter key to be changed, you can do so. You can simply select the enter key and assign it a different value. And it updates live. There's no saving, there's no loading, there's no downloading profiles. It's completely live update. So once you make the change, it's ready to go. That's a really cool feature. You can change your lighting. So this is all your lighting controls. If you want to do a different layer of lighting, you can totally do that. If you want to have media control, you can do media control. If you have macros, you can do macros. If you want to be able to change layers on the fly, you can change that. If you have specialties, like if you assign Discord like an F17 value, you can do that. All this is possible with VIA, and it's really simple. Just click and assign. If you have custom macros you need to record because of the software you're using or any games you're playing, you can do that here. You can also save a layout. Say you swap between keyboards a lot like I do, you can save layouts. I think this is a really handy feature. So I guess there is a save and load, but it's on your watch. Lastly is your lighting, and this keyboard comes with a ton of lighting. And honestly, the lighting super vibrant. It's really neat. And the other thing I love about VIA is it changes right when you select it. So no matter what effect you have, the speed of the effect you have, or the brightness, as soon as you change it, you can see it in real time. This is really cool. And again, unless you want to save the profile for a rainy day or switching keyboards, it all updates on the fly and you're good to go here. But now that we have VIA going and it's configured, let's go ahead and take a look at what it looks like and, importantly, what it sounds like. So with the lights dimmed, we can see that the RGB looks absolutely stunning. Honestly, it looks great. The acrylic definitely lends its hand in making this RGB look awesome. Now changing RGB on the fly, we simply press our layer key, which will switch our layer. You can see here it switches the code. And then we just select our RGB assigned key, which we assigned in VIA, and then we can cycle through our RGB. This is really awesome because if you are a programmer or use specialty keys for a program, you can just shift the layer and good to go. Just select what you need to select and it goes back to normal as soon as you let off. I think that's really neat. Not to mention the side-by-side RGB looks awesome. Now let's go ahead and give it a listen. All right, Now that we've unboxed it, you've heard it and seen it, and I've used it for the last week, let's talk about the good and the not so good. Starting with the good. The RGB on this, I couldn't get enough of. I'm not even the biggest RGB fan, but the fact is, every day I was super stoked to see it. I also really loved the design. The single hand use was where it excelled like no other. Being able to remove the right hand, put it aside, and just have keyboard and left hand for gaming was a game changer. Reassigning keys to make sure that one was reload, one was melee was really cool. The wrist relief felt actually pretty good. It wasn't a game changer as much as I thought it would be, but my shoulders and my wrist did feel better by spreading it apart more when I was typing regularly. It does have hot swap sockets and it has loop switches, which are both really great out of the box. Now let's talk about the not so good. The stabilizers. They needed a lot of love out of the box, which was surprising. It's also not surprising at the same time because most stabilizers need love out of the box. So I would just like to see it be a thing. It's more of just the industry having stabilizers that need love out of the box instead of just this keyboard specifically. The next would be the learning curve. If you're coming from a normal keyboard, the learning curve for this is pretty high. You can get used to it, but you have to dedicate yourself to using this type of keyboard for days at a time. Once you get past the 2 to 3 day mark, you start to really just lean into it, which was really cool. Next would be setup. Setup was difficult. I think there should be a call out to like turn off your computer, then plug it in, because boy, was I confused when my computer was acting crazy when I plugged it in. Turning it off, plug it in, turning it back on. After that, smooth sailing. And lastly, let's talk about cost, but also not really. Ergo keyboards are expensive. To get a good one in the market, you're paying over 100, all the way up to 4, 5, 6, 700. This is more of what you want out of it. I think a lot of people dunk on pricing a lot, especially for Ergo keyboards because they are expensive, but understanding they're a specialty keyboard for a group of people that really look for this style of keyboard. And that comes with a cost. I don't think that cost is too atrocious. Getting in with this keyboard is around the $180 mark, with the premium model coming around the $225 mark. I think it's pretty understandable. So for me, the cost isn't really a bad thing. It's just not great if you're looking to get into it the first time. But I think it could be worth it, especially if you know you like ergonomic keyboards and you're looking for one that is like this layout. Overall, I really enjoyed my experience. So let me know what you think. Let me know in the comments below. Are you an Ergo user? Is it something you're interested in? I'd like to know. I'd like to get your feedback. And if you're still watching at this point, I just want to say thank you for watching. You could drop a like and hit subscribe. It would mean the world to me. If you want to check out the keyboard in this video, the link to the product is in the description box below. And as always, thank you for watching and keep keyboarding.